Hi everyone, this week we're going to be looking at a specific type of writing called a manifesto. And this type of writing can sometimes feel a little bit of a struggle for students, mainly because they can just look different. And the purpose of these is very different than what we've looked at all semester. In general, the 20th century starts with kind of an assault on traditions and boundaries. They're going under fire because all these very rapid intellectual and scientific and political growths and ideas and changes makes everyone feel like they need to shake off the shackles of the past and really go forward and be new and woo, we're here. Now, they say that they're shaking off the Victorianism, the Romanticism. They don't fully, but they do create some really new things in really neat ways. But if this doesn't happen, then who we are today as a society wouldn't be around. So we have a desire for radical newness in all of the arts. We have avant-garde creators pushing everyone to look at new possibilities for creating art of any kind, so written, visual, theatrical, musical. And we want to use new conventions because we think that traditional forms cannot contend with the chaos of this new world, which hopefully sounds familiar to you from the idea of the war poets that we just looked at as well. Now, modernist writers were not really united. There's a lot of different groups that people would jump around. New ideas would pop up, flourish for a year or two, and then disappear. So manifestos were a way to put out there what they believed in, what their aim and argument was for, and kind of legitimize it. However, manifestos could be written just by an individual representing what I feel. It could be written to represent a whole movement, a whole group of people. It could be written for the public, or maybe it's not for the public and it ends up being published posthumously. There's not, like I said, a lot to unite the modernists and manifestos, but there are some things that can be found to be the same. So manifestos are originally used to in court as a way of putting on a show. Think of it almost like as a piece of evidence. They were a deliberate manipulation of public view. So because the original use of a manifesto was to convince or convert, that's why we take that idea and pull it into our literary realm. Our artistic manifestos have to depend on their cleverness, the talents of the creator, but they're also influential because of their context. So for us reading them, they may not feel as influential because we're in a different contextual part of history and society. What they established with these manifestos and achieved is now the norm for us. So keep that in mind as you're reading. They can be described as having a madness, they're peculiar and angry, they're downright crazed, they're striking, they're opposed to something. As you read them, it might feel almost like a battlefield, like you have a we versus them, and by aligning with the we, the creator of the manifesto, you're becoming brave by breaking out into this new world. 1905 to 1919 was the heyday, so we don't see manifestos in this form much anymore, but we kind of have these similar ideas if we think about open letters, op-eds, people putting out their opinions on social media in a way that's like, this is what's right and follow along with me. So these really are familiar in their purpose. It's just how they look and read that's going to be different. So as you go into them, just remember this is someone trying to say, this is what I stand for, this is what I believe in, this is how we need to move forward, shaking off our shackles. One of the ones you're going to read is called Blast, and you can kind of consider it a burned book almost, if that helps you. But we're going to look at some manifestos this week and see how some modernist creators were working to strengthen their say in the world.